Now that it's summer, it's hot. And I don't know about you, but sometimes when it's hot, nothing sounds good to eat. So today I'm going to share with you some of my summer favorites that won't break the bank and may just bring your appetite back. Hi, I'm Bonita and I am early retired. I'm not old enough yet for Social Security. I'm living on a low income and I am living off of savings. I live in Kansas on a farm and I have a donkey. I have frugal videos all year round, and I hope that you will join me this year as we share ways to save money and live our dreams. Many people think that summer is the most expensive season, and that is because there are a lot of cookouts, picnics, get togethers, and a lot of people think about cookouts including hamburger, steaks, all kinds of things grilled outside. And that stuff can add up quick with today's prices. Well, today I'm going to give you a few summer alternatives that maybe you can add to what you're already going to make, or you can make on some days that you're not wanting to spend quite as much money at home. I do a lot of simple, easy cooking during the week when I'm here by myself. I try to save money in those ways because I can make something and it can last me all week for lunches and I can spend pennies. I also have a large family and we used to have huge get togethers every 4th of July. My kids sold fireworks for 22 years and they sold them two by two by two until they were all grown. And when they had a fireworks stand, we would have a large picnic and everybody would be invited because we couldn't leave because the fireworks stand was open. And I would supply food for everyone. They would bring covered dishes, and I made a variety of things over the years. Well, one of the favorites that I used to make to go with this picnic was fruit pizza. Fruit pizza is so delicious. My son made it the other day and he said his friends were like, "What is this? We haven't had this before. This is so good." But it's super duper easy. So, what I do is I just make a sugar cookie crust. I take some cream cheese and mix just enough powdered sugar in it to get it to the sweetness that I want. I spread it on top of the cooled cookie crust, and then I would add toppings of fruit. The fruit that I would add for the 4th of July would be things like blueberries and strawberries that would make it look very patriotic. And I also would add kiwi sometimes, and kiwi would go really, really well. Now, you can add almost anything you want to a fruit pizza, but sometimes the fruit that has more juice will make it soggy if you have leftovers. So make it right before you serve, eat it immediately, and try to use some fruits that aren't overly juicy. And it will be a crowd pleaser. It's so refreshing and delicious, and it will be gone so fast you probably won't have leftovers. So we started with one of my favorite things, dessert. And I'm one of those people, I believe in eating your dessert before you get too full, eating it with your meal, eating it first sometimes if need be. But I wanted to share that fruit pizza recipe because it is so good on a hot summer day. Now we're going to skip to breakfast. Many of you know I just spent time at my son's. He had sourdough. I was making sourdough. I shared that video with you. But even if you purchase sourdough, a great refreshing breakfast is a toasted piece of sourdough with some cream cheese on top. Believe me, you will not even know you are missing the bagel, and it is way less calories and healthier. So try that the next time you have some sourdough and maybe you're craving a bagel or something more refreshing for summer. Toasted sourdough with cream cheese. I'm making a delicious summer meal today with a clearanced package of broccoli slaw that I got with a coupon, half of a red pepper, about 8 grape tomatoes that I had left, some garlic powder, and some green onion tops from the garden. Then I'm adding just a couple of ounces here of angel hair pasta to the mix. I'm going to cook this in another pot and toss it in with my veggies. I put in a couple of tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. I'm also going to add about a tablespoon of balsamic vinegar. Just going to mix in the angel hair pasta. Let this all marinate together to get the flavors really mixed. Warm it up just a tiny bit more, and lunch is served. So as you can see, meals don't have to be expensive to be healthy and to be delicious. I made this one when I was at my son's and I found this spice and added it in, and it turned out delicious. Doesn't that look delicious? So that was just an easy veggie pasta toss, and you can just create your own recipes based on what you already have on hand for some of these summer lunch menu items. The next one is a pasta salad, and I'm going to share with you how I just made it my own with stuff I already had on hand. I have almost a whipped cream container of some mixed pasta that I'm going to mix up this week into a refreshing pasta salad for my lunches. I picked up this organic broccoli and cauliflower that is already cut up in the bag, and it was a full pound for $1.40. That was a great deal. So I'm going to mix that in along with some Roma tomatoes that I picked up for 99 cents a pound. I also have a yellow pepper in the fridge that needs used up that I will mix in. So I'm just using what I have. I have some Kraft Italian dressing that's already in the fridge. It's been there a while. It needs used up. So I'm going to use that as my base for my pasta salad today. But you can use ranch dressing. You could use a vinaigrette. You could use anything that you wanted to make this pasta salad different each and every time. My pasta's done. I ran cold water over it and drained it, put it into this dish. And then I chopped up the broccoli and the cauliflower that was already in the bag. I still have all of this left to use for something else. And yes, I chop up the stems because they are totally edible and they taste delicious. One tomato, and about a fourth of a yellow pepper. Now I could put carrots in this. I have carrots too, so I could bulk it up even more if I wanted to. But since it's just me eating it, since I used wheat pasta and my husband's gluten-free, this is going to be enough for a week. So I don't want to make more than I can eat. And then I'm going to top it with some Parmesan that I have on hand. And there's the finished product. I used about a third of a bottle of the Italian dressing, put in about an eighth of a cup of Parmesan cheese, and stirred all of the dressing in there so it can marinate. And then I'm going to cover it and let it chill in the fridge. And when I say I'm going to cover it, no, I'm not going to use plastic wrap. I'm going to use something that is rewashable. So maybe you're thinking those are more of a side dish, and they can be, but you can bulk them up by adding black beans, red beans, kidney beans. You can do whatever you like with these recipes. They are so flexible. You could add salmon, tuna, cold chicken. You could do any of these things to make it more of a bulked up recipe if you wanted a protein in it as well. I don't eat a lot of meat, so a lot of the things that I make during the week that I just eat on my own at lunches are usually meat free, and that makes it super cheap. But I also like beans, so sometimes I will throw some beans into some of my dishes. So even a pasta salad with like some red kidney beans in it that were drained and rinsed would be so delicious. Sometimes we look in our refrigerator or in our cabinet and we think, I just don't have time to make anything. I don't really have anything to make. And some of these recipes are so easy that it just takes less than 20 minutes to throw them together. And then you have something to eat on all week once you portion them out. So I just wanted to encourage you to take another look this summer when you say, man, nothing sounds good. It is just so hot. What can I fix? And yes, we can still have those wonderful picnics with our family and friends, and we can splurge once in a while and do those cookouts and buy some of those meats that we talked about in the beginning. I did so many things for those 4th of July holidays. I made a all hot dog one year where we had little smokies and barbecue sauce, we had brats, we had hot dogs, a whole different variety of types of dogs. A lot of years we did the hamburger and hot dog thing. One year I did fried chicken, and I swore I would never do that again because I fried chicken for about 8 hours that holiday to make a huge turkey roaster full of chicken. But you can do things differently for your cookouts. They don't always have to be hamburgers or hot dogs or steaks. They can be whatever you want them to be. Sometimes we just get stuck in the way of thinking that it always has to be hamburgers and hot dogs, but we can get creative with what our picnics even look like. And then remember my tip that if you do make hamburgers and then you stick them back in the fridge and you've cooked them out and they're dry once they are needing reheated, just heat up a little pan of water and throw those hot dogs and those hamburger patties that are kind of dried out all in the same water. Just let them boil and then pull them out with a tong and put them on your bun, and they will taste like they are fresh right off the grill, and all of those juices that you thought were gone forever are back in the hamburger, back in the hot dog with still that charcoal fresh grill taste. So don't throw away those old cookout meats. You can refresh them as well in a pot of boiling water. You know, one year I even did sloppy joes, and that one was super easy. Just a big turkey roaster of the sloppy joe meat and the buns. And then if you host, remember, always ask people to bring things, the chips, the sides, the potato salad. Have them bring things. And that's what we did. I would make like the main course, maybe a dessert and a side or two. And then everybody that came would bring side dishes. And sometimes our parties were 25 or 30 people, but there was always tons of food. Stay around, watch the fireworks, and have tons of leftovers. So ask your party that's coming in to hang out to contribute, and that will lower your cost and still make your holiday so super fun and memorable. And this is why I have two picnic tables in my front yard, is because our family is so large and we would always have big gatherings like this for graduation, for picnics around the 4th of July, for any birthday parties. We would take it outside if it was in the summer because there were so many of us. And then I always would ask guests to also bring their lawn chairs. So we would have the picnic tables full. We'd have two long tables set up for all of the food, and then everybody would have lawn chairs as well. So the whole yard would be full. My youngest son, who's working on his PhD, has even asked me, can we have a yard party when I get my degree? So these parties were well loved, well remembered. They made lifelong memories of all of the fun that we had. So don't miss out on summer just because money is tight. I hope you have enjoyed some of these summer ideas for recipes and gatherings. I hope to see you in the next video. Thanks for stopping by today, and I'll talk to you soon.